Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in today. My name is Jesse Mayfield Sheehan. I am coming to you live from Daly Field in Boston, Massachusetts, here to bring you today's East Coast Football League contest between the visiting Connecticut Thundercats and the hosting MetroWest Golden Badgers. This is the last home game of this summer season for the Badgers. They have one game left on the docket after this, a road game next Saturday against the New England Black Panthers. But this will be their last summer game at Daly Field in 2023. And they're hoping to make the most of it. It's a battle of winless teams out here. The Badgers coming in with an 0-6 record. The Thundercats stand at 0-7. As this is the last game of the season for the Thundercats, they have nothing more after this. And we've already got some comments going in the live chat from Dillboy60. It's my dad's team. Yeah, go Badgers. Happy to see you tuning in, and to anyone else tuning in, regardless of which team you're rooting for, we encourage you to support your favorite team and support your favorite players with any notes you want to say in the live chat. We always encourage audience participation here. And remember, if you end up enjoying this live stream of today's game, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on all things Golden Badgers football. So these two teams coming in, one of them is going to come out of this with their first win of the year. And it's their first time facing each other in a little over 2 years. The last time they faced off was on July 24th, 2021, back in the Golden Badgers' first season in the East Coast Football League. And I'll talk about that game in a second, but first we got a question live chat from Anna Rapuano. How many Thundercats there? Well, if we look over to our left, we'll see not the largest number of players on either side, really. I think the Badgers have more players today, which, is not entirely unexpected. As the season goes on, logistical issues and injuries and things like that continue to pile up, and it can be harder and harder for teams to get their guys to come out, especially here at the single A level. And especially for a visiting team having to come across state lines. And we've got another one in the live chat, a Thundercats fan, QB15. And then we've got a Badgers player who couldn't make it here today, Javon Furtado. I'm watching, fellas. Sorry I couldn't make it. Well, even though you couldn't make it, we're happy to see you tuning in, Javon. Thank you, of course, for the support. As we get ready to get this one underway, you see the officials there in the center. Badgers over here on the right. Like I said, these two teams faced off 2 years ago in the Badgers' first season in the ECFL. The Thundercats won that game here at Daly Field 32-8 back on July 24, 2021. Both teams scored on their opening drives, but then the Thundercats proceeded to score on their next 3 drives as well, scoring on each of their first 4 offensive possessions and then scoring once more in the fourth quarter while the Badgers couldn't keep up. The lone touchdown for the Badgers, which was also their only home touchdown of that 2021 season, was a 5-yard touchdown run by Jeff Jean, who now plays for the Mass Warriors up in AA. And they also got a 2-point conversion from Ralph Duperville, who is still with the team and I believe is here today. I see him there on the bench. For the Thundercats, 4 touchdown passes by quarterback Rain Francis, 2 of them to Mark Anthony Teluzma, 1 to Justin Ruiz, and 1 to Josue Lopez. Francis, Toulousma, and Lopez all still on the roster for the Thundercats this year, although I don't know how many people have made it here today. You know, like I said, sparse numbers on both sides. But for now, I'm just going to read off the rosters that I have for these two teams. And we'll start with the hosting MetroWest Golden Badgers. Going in order of jersey number, first we have from Framingham, number 0, Christian Alicea. Next, from Framingham, number 2, Keith Campbell Jr. From Boston, number 3, Marquise Hughes. From Boston, number 4, Ralph Duperville. From Springfield, number 6, Evan Robidoux. From Boston, number 7, Miles Oakletree. From Springfield, number 8, Kirk Prescott. From Boston, number 9, Hugh Simmons. From Lawrence, number 10, Felipe Andrade. From Pembroke, number 12, Pat Picariello. Number 14, Joe Ferrante. From Framingham, number 16, Shane Bushy. From Boston, number 18, Lennon Pena. And looks like I might not be able to get through the rosters, so we're getting ready for the opening coin toss. The Badgers sending out their captains Kirk Prescott, Marquise Hughes, and Shane Bushy. For the Thundercats, we see number 11, Josue Lopez, number 27, Percy Gladding, and number 56, Matthew Hall, out to represent. Oh, did the Thundercats play the Oh, they played the Badgers in Connecticut last year. That's right. That was one I didn't cover. That's my mistake. Thank you, Mikey Rapp, for the correction. Thundercats won that game 44-0. The toss is won by the Thundercats, and they elect to defer to the second half. Looks like the Thundercats will be on the left side and the Badgers will be on the right to start this game, and we're about ready to get this one underway. Badgers and Thundercats facing off, both teams trying to get their first win of the year. So the Badgers will receive the opening kick. Badgers have lost each of their last 2 matchups against the Thundercats. In 2021, they lost here at home 32-8. Last year in Connecticut, they lost to the Badgers 44-0. So the Badgers in their 3rd season in the ECFL, hoping they can get some payback. The Thundercats hoping to keep it business as usual against the Badgers. Both teams trying to get their first win of 2023. This is the last chance for the Thundercats. For the Badgers, this is their last chance at home. They'll have one more road game next Saturday against the New England Black Panthers. Badgers sending out their return unit. We see number 33, Jonathan Joseph, and number 3, Marquise Hughes back deep. Number 4, Ralph Duperville, at the second line, alongside number 27, Dasani Houston. Of course, Jonathan Joseph had that big 62-yard touchdown run for the Badgers' first home touchdown of the season last week against the Rhody Ravens. Of course, the Badgers still ended up coming up short in that game, 33-6. But the Badgers will be hoping for more impact plays from those players today. Thundercats, number 27, Percy Gladding of Ansonia, Connecticut, getting ready to kick this one away. There's the opening whistle. Signal from Gladding. Badgers versus Thundercats. Here we go, and it's a short kick. It's bouncing towards the sideline and out of bounds. Are they going to redo that kick, or are they... I don't know, for a second they replaced the kicking tee, so I wasn't sure if they were going to re-spot the kick, but I don't think they are. I think we're just going to start at the 40-yard line. First, yes, it will be 1st and 10 for the Badgers at their own 40. First and 10, they come out in shotgun. They've got Marquise Hughes starting at quarterback for the Badgers. Takes a snap, fakes the handoff to Kirk Prescott, takes off running. He's got some room to run, cuts upfield, stiff arming another man as he gets forced out of bounds, well past the first down marker and well past midfield. An explosive run to start the day for the Golden Badgers. They go all the way down to the Thundercats' 35. A 25-yard run by Marquise Hughes on the QB keeper. And we'll see how they follow that one up. Hughes and Prescott in the backfield once again. 2 receivers either side. 1st and 10 from the Thundercats' 35. Snap, Hughes. Quick screen pass, and he gets it to Dasani Houston. It was almost picked off, but Houston's off and running. Dasani Houston takes off on that one. It was nearly picked off by, I believe, number 14, Justin Lawrence. But instead, the Badgers just barely get their timing right for a big catch and run down inside the 20. It's going to be 1st and 10 from the 18 after a 17-yard catch and run by Dasani Houston. We got another Thundercats fan in the live chat, MC97 Games, saying hashtag Let's Go Cats. Like I said before, it doesn't matter which team you're rooting for. We appreciate people giving their support to their teams in the live chat. 1st and 10 for the Badgers from the Thundercats' 18-yard line. Hughes takes the snap, hands off. Prescott's got room. Kirk Prescott bouncing forward for a short gain. Looks like a little bit longer than I initially thought. Looks like 7 yards down to the 11. So it'll be 2nd and 3 for the Badgers, who are moving well on this first possession. A 25-yard run, a 17-yard catch and run, and then a 7-yard run there. Sticking with the same formation, Hughes and Prescott in the backfield, 2 receivers either side. 2nd and 3 from the 11. Snap, Hughes looking to throw. He's got a scramble, avoids one rusher, looking, floating one up, looking for the end zone, and it's just out of reach of Houston. And out of bounds, so that falls incomplete. It'll be 3rd and 3 for the Badgers. Of course, this deep inside opposing territory, they're definitely in 4-down territory here, so they got 2 chances to get 3 yards and move this to a 1st and goal situation. As you can see, looking at the Daily Field scoreboard, it's not on, so like all games out here at Daily, unfortunately, I won't be able to tell you any, time on the clock or anything like that. But for now, this early, that's not a worry. 3rd and 3 from the 11. Snap, handoff. Prescott runs into a wall and nowhere to go. Got wrapped up. Combined efforts of numbers, I believe, 66 and 44 for the Thundercats. Tashawn Frazier Jr., number 66, and number 44, Sincere Taylor. Loss of about 3 on the play, actually, as they appear to be, or no, loss of 2 on the play. They're on the 13. It's going to be 4th down and 5. So a big play for the Badgers here, trying to make the most of their first possession. Started off with 3 big plays, but since then an incomplete and a loss of 2. Badgers need a big play here. Thundercats looking for a big stop. 4th and 5 from the 13. Snap is lost. Hughes takes it off the bounce. He's scrambling wildly, and there's nowhere for him to go. Sacked by Sincere Taylor. A turnover on downs for the Badgers. Unfortunate off a bad snap. And Sincere Taylor, the D lineman from Bridgeport, Connecticut, came up with a big stop for the Thundercats. And now not only do they get the ball back, they get it back at a considerably better field position than if they hadn't pushed the Badgers so far back. The Badgers at furthest got down to the Thundercats' 11-yard line, but were pushed 14 yards back after that 12-yard sack by Taylor. And now the Thundercats will have 1st and 10 at their own 25. Looks like it's number 27, Percy Gladding at quarterback. They hand it off, and it is Taylor barreling ahead for about a 5-yard gain. Thundercats coming out in a very tight formation to start. Taylor under center again. It's a toss this time. Number 17 finds a hole, but then it's filled, and he's taken down from behind. Primary tackler, number 33, Jonathan Joseph. That was number 17, Amory Beckford, on the carry that time. Gain of 1 on the play. It'll be 3rd and 4 from the Thundercats' 31. send a man in motion. Gladding hands it off to Beckford again, running through the hole, and he's dropped short, but close to the marker. Taken down by combined efforts of Marquise Hughes, Keith Campbell Jr., and Jonathan Joseph. It's going to bring up 4th and short. And the Thundercats, they have a decision to make. 4th and 1 from the 39. And right now it's looking like they're going to go for it. And they are going to be going for it here. Trusting their run game to get 1 yard. Snap to Gladding. Lost the snap, and he's downed by number 23, Cuba Morales. And a bad snap dooms both teams on 4th down, and we start off with back-to-back turnover on downs. So now, after a loss of 2 on the fumbled snap, the Badgers will take over 1st and 10 at the 37. I'll say it, don't underestimate the value of a center that can give you consistently good snaps at any level in football, but especially here at the semi-pro single A level. Badgers take back over. Hughes and Prescott in the backfield, 2 receivers either side. 1st and 10 from the 37. Snap. Fakes the give to Prescott, and Hughes has a wide open hole to the outside. Stiff arms one man, but he holds on and manages to drag him down. Marquise Hughes with another huge run. Just barely brought down by number 11, Josue Lopez. As after the fake to Prescott, he had a huge hole to the outside. Almost stiff-armed Lopez away, but managed to keep a grip on his arm. And this is going to be 1st and goal to go for the Badgers. As they have moved inside the 10 to the Thundercats' 8-yard line. So after all that effort to get to the 8 in their last possession, they get to the 8 in just 1 play here on this possession. A 29-yard run by Hughes that time. Now he takes the snap, looking to throw, floats one up to the outside, and it's wide. That one aimed at number 0, Christian Alicea. Amory Beckford was in coverage, and honestly, if that throw hadn't been as wide as it was, then it might have been picked off by Beckford, and if he picked that off, there's a good chance he was going to the house on that one. So the Badgers kind of a little lucky on the inaccuracy on that throw that time. It'll be 2nd and goal from the 8. Looks like they are subbing in Jonathan Joseph at running back. Joseph had the big touchdown run last week against the Ravens. And now they've got him in the backfield next to Hughes. 2 receivers on either side once again. Snap, a toss to Joseph. Joseph cuts inside, weaves around tacklers, bouncing to the outside, and he's got it! Touchdown, Badgers! The shifty moves of Jonathan Joseph come through once again, his 2nd touchdown in as many weeks. And the Badgers take the first score and take the lead. Joseph was just left with enough space to work. Was able to cut inside after a Thundercats defender sealed off the edge. And then once he was inside, he was face-to-face with a couple of defenders, but he had enough space to juke towards the outside. And the Badgers receivers did a good job blocking out along the far edge to give him the opening he needed for the touchdown. 8-yard rushing touchdown for Jonathan Joseph, and now the Badgers going for 2. Low snap given to, no, the give was faked, but it looks like Hughes was taken down short. And so it'll be a 6-0 lead for the Badgers. Celebration from one of the Badgers teammates, Javon Furtado. I see you in the live chat. Touchdown, baby. And so now the Badgers getting ready to kick this one away with a 6-0 lead. Jonathan Joseph with the 8-yard touchdown run, set up by the 29-yard run from Marquise Hughes, which was set up by the turnover on downs on a bad snap, which came after the Badgers turning over on downs on a bad snap. So the Badgers with the early advantage here. Their 4th touchdown of the season so far. They had 2 against the Connecticut Lightning back on June 24. They had the 1 last week against the Rhody Ravens, and now they've got 1 here. Getting ready to kick this one away for the Badgers is number 63, David Dell of Wellesley, Massachusetts. And boots this one away, high and short, and it's taken by Gladding. Gladding sends a blocker in front of him, finds a hole. Percy Gladding breaking through down the sideline and dragged down inside the Badgers 40. Might be inside the 35. It is. The Thundercats respond well with a good kick return by number 27, Percy Gladding. Thundercats come back out. In what appears to be a variation of the single wing formation that they were showing last possession. Snap, it's a toss. This is Taylor. Taylor trying to break through, and he gets dragged down. Good tackle in the open field by the Badgers. Number 38, Marquise Allen of Boston. Excuse me. Looks like a gain of about 2 on the play. Once again, coming out in what I think is either the single wing or the wing T. Snap. Bobbled handoff. Taylor couldn't hold on. It's taken back by the Badgers. A botched handoff by the Thundercats is recovered by number 23, Cuba Morales. So another botched transfer of the ball by the Thundercats offense gives the Badgers back the football, and that's going to be the end of the first quarter, actually. So the end of one here at Daly Field in Boston, Massachusetts. And while we don't really have to change the position of the ball as it's at midfield, when we resume the action very shortly for the second quarter, it'll be Golden Badgers football, 1st and 10 at midfield. It is Hughes and Prescott in the backfield. Two receivers on either side for the Badgers. As we get a little bit of cloud cover out here at Daly Field, which is nice on a balmy 83-degree day here in the middle of August. Snap is botched, and Hughes takes it off the bounce and just scrambles, trying to force his way forward. He's still pushing, and now they're going to stop him. Got maybe 1 or 2 yards on that play. And frankly, I think the Badgers are just happy to have the ball still after that one. Marquise Hughes has taken a couple of balls off a bounce. Badgers fortunate that their quarterback has some good reflexes there. 2nd and 8 from the Thundercats' 48-yard line. Hughes fakes the handoff to Prescott. He's looking to throw. He's a statue in the pocket. Throws a pass. Hits Alisea. Christian Alisea taken off, and he is brought down. We'll see where they spot it, but it's most definitely going to be a first down for the Badgers. Marquise Hughes had all kinds of time in the pocket there. Great work from the offensive line, giving him time on that one. A 21-yard gain on the reception by Christian Alisea. Down to the Thundercats' 27. Snap, handoff, Prescott running up the middle for a short gain, might have been about 3 or 4. Looks like they gave him 4 yards on the play. Or no, 3 yards, excuse me. 3 yards on the play down to the 24. Second and 7 from the 24. Snap is high. Hughes chasing after it. Recovers it again. Running for his life. Dodges around one man. Spins around another. Fires a pass. Hits his man. Are you kidding me? Taking off and forced out of bounds is number 17. Talk about making something out of nothing. Marquise Hughes had to chase down the bad snap, avoid 2 tacklers, and somehow get that ball away. And they end up with a 21-yard gain again, down to the Thundercats' 4-yard line. Unfortunately, I'm not sure who number 17 is for the Badgers. He's not on the roster, and Evan Robidoux, who has previously worn that number, is wearing his own number 6 today. But in the meantime, 1st and goal for the Badgers. Snap, handoff, Prescott barreling up the middle. And he's going to be stopped short of the goal line, gain of about 3 down to the 1. Joe Lyman is 17. Thank you, Angela Lyman. Man keeps trying to trick me, keeps changing his jersey number on me. So Joe Lyman had that 21-yard reception down to the 4-yard line. Looks like we got a timeout called. Out of the timeout, it's going to be 2nd and goal from the 1-yard line for the Badgers as they try and punch in another score. Coming out in the I formation, they're going heavy here. Hughes under center takes the snap, and they botch the handoff, and it's recovered by the Thundercats. They tried to go for the fullback dive to Anthony Savicki, and it did not work. The handoff was bobbled, and it's recovered by number 34, Joseph Leclerc Jr. So again, a botched ball transfer proves costly as both of these teams struggling to hold on to this football. We've seen 4 of the last 5 possessions end in some sort of botched transfer of the ball. Badgers' first possession, turnover on downs because of a bad snap. Thundercats' first possession, turnover on downs because of a bad snap. Then Badgers score a touchdown. Thundercats fumble on a botched handoff, and then Badgers fumble on a botched handoff. And so now it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Thundercats from their own 6-yard line. Gladding takes the snap, hands off. Taylor bursting through a hole, shakes off 1 tackler and 2, and he finally gets dragged down by the Badgers' number 22, George Tate. That's going to be good for a Thundercats first down as Sincere Taylor breaks a couple of tackles and rumbles forward for a gain of about 14 yards. What? First and 10, Gladding takes the snap. He's looking to throw this time, scrambles, throws a pass off the fingertips of Prescott. First passing attempt by the Thundercats almost ends up going the other way. Instead, it'll simply be an incomplete. And it'll be 2nd and 10. Second and 10, back out in the wing tee. Gladding takes the snap, hands off to Taylor. Taylor gets stuffed at the line. Several tacklers there to bring him down. The first one there, I believe, was Kirk Prescott. No gain on the play, and so it'll be 3rd and 10. In the live chat from Ground Zero, I got Badgers taking this one. And, well, I mean, if it ended right now, the Badgers would take this one, but we still got a lot of football left. Here in the second quarter, the Badgers lead the Thundercats 6-0. Different formation here for the Thundercats, and they go for a jet sweep to Lopez. Lopez trying to avoid the tacklers, breaks one, cuts back inside. Lopez dancing around, trying to find a miracle, gets wrapped up from behind, brought down by Keith Campbell Jr. A flag on the play. Josue Lopez was going every which way on that play. I would not be surprised if this is offensive holding. It's an illegal block in the back against the Thundercats. That penalty is going to be declined as it will bring up 4th and 5. You know, credit to Lopez, again, for trying to make something out of nothing. And he almost did, but credit to the Badgers tacklers, especially Keith Campbell. Oh, they are going to accept the penalty. Never mind. They're going to push them back to the 13. So it's going to be 3rd and 17 instead of 4th and 5. And for the first time, the Thundercats coming out in shotgun. 2 receivers on either side of Gladding and Taylor. Gladding takes the snap, looking to throw, has to scramble, running out of room, wrapped up, and no, he's bursting forward, and finally he gets taken down. It was number 53, Sherlin Harvey, who had him wrapped up. And a little bit of help there at the end by number 47, Ryan Gorman. And looks like they gave him a gain of 1, so it's not a sack. It'll be 4th and 16 for the Thundercats. So accepting the penalty does pay off for the Badgers. That penalty pushed them back about 7 yards, or actually about 12 yards if you count the amount they would have gained on the play. And then only able to get 1 yard on the ensuing down. Now they set up to punt with number 34, Joseph Leclerc Jr., the one who recovered the fumble that got them the ball back. He's going to be punting it away. Snap. Ball is punted deep. Jonathan Joseph back to receive it. Bursts forward, finds a hole, cuts towards the middle. Flag is thrown. This might be coming back as Joseph gets wrapped up and brought down inside the 25, but this might be a block in the back against the Badgers. And it will be a block in the back against the Badgers. I think you saw one of the Badgers blockers try to push from the side, but ended up getting the back of the Thundercats gunner. So good coverage from the Thundercats forces the penalty, and the Badgers are going to be pushed way back. So instead of starting inside the Thundercats 25, they will be starting at their own 42-yard line. Looks like we got a timeout called by the Thundercats. Badgers certainly showing more of an ability to move the ball so far. However, they've got to get a little better at finding the end zone. They've had some struggles. 1 for 3 on trips to the end zone, trips to the red zone so far today. They got a touchdown, a turnover on downs, and a fumble. So we'll see what they're able to do on this drive. 1st and 10 from the 42. Badgers coming out in a different formation this time. They got trips to the right of Hughes and one receiver out left. Now they're all set. Snap, Hughes back to throw. Floating one, it's caught by Dasani Houston. The wide receiver from Haverhill hauling in the turnaround grab, that time off a well-placed floater from Hughes. And that is going to bring them into Thundercats territory, 1st and 10 from the 39. Two receivers on either side once again. But they motion Houston over to the left side to again load up one side with 3 receivers. Snap, handoff, Prescott going up the middle, finds a bit of a hole for a nice gain there. Gonna be a little short of the first. It's gonna be 2nd and 3 from the 32. Badgers still trying to get their second score on the board. Again, they motion Houston right to left. Snap, handoff, Prescott bursting to the outside, stiff arms a man, stiff arms another, and finally forced out of bounds. Good for the Badgers' first down off the run from Kirk Prescott, the running back and co-captain out of Springfield. Gets him down to the 24 off an 8-yard carry. The officials have now signaled the 2-minute warning for the first half. Looks like this time the Badgers have brought in Jonathan Joseph as a receiver, replacing Christian Alisea. Coming out with backs on either side of Hughes this time, probably looking to get some more time in the pocket. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Snap, fake the handoff. Hughes gets wrapped up and sacked. Number 50, Harrison Tagnidong of Bridgeport. The big quarterback sack there pushes them back 6 yards to the 30. It'll be 2nd and 16. Tagnidong just grabbed onto the shoulders of the jersey of Hughes that time, just would not let go. Hughes has been slipping out of tackles all day, but could not slip out of that one. 2nd and 16 for the Badgers from the Thundercats' 30-yard line. Snap, Hughes, pass rush in his face, scrambles, fires a pass, and it comes in at the feet of Houston, incomplete. So it will be 3rd and 16. Badgers trying to get a second score on the board before we break for halftime. Timeout called by the Thundercats. The Badgers bringing a bit of a chant from the sideline. Let's go offense chant. And indeed, the offense is going to need a big play here. 3rd and long. They're going to put 3 receivers out on the right, 1 on the left, with Hughes and Joseph in the backfield. Snap, Hughes looking to throw, scrambling to his left, looking, running out of space, takes off, running up the sideline, gets a gain there. Looks like a gain of a little bit less than 10 yards, and so that is going to bring up 4th and long. Or is that just halftime? That might just be halftime. And indeed, that is halftime. Our score at the half, the MetroWest Golden Badgers 6, the Connecticut Thundercats 0. The only score so far coming off an 8-yard touchdown run by Jonathan Joseph. And that is where we stand here. From Daly Field in Boston, Massachusetts, I am Jesse Mayfield Sheehan. I am going to mute the mic during halftime, but I will be back after the break for the second half of this one. Still anyone's ball game, so you better stay tuned. Hello again, everybody, and welcome back. I am Jesse Mayfield Sheehan, coming to you live from Daly Field in Boston, Massachusetts. Here to bring you the second half of today's East Coast Football League contest between the visiting Connecticut Thundercats and the hosting MetroWest Golden Badgers. The Badgers holding on to a 6-0 lead at the moment off an 8-yard touchdown run by Jonathan Joseph in the first quarter. No scores for either side since then. The Badgers have largely been winning the field position battle, but haven't been able to capitalize, suffering from some rough turnovers, including a turnover on downs inside the red zone and a fumble when they started a play at the 1-yard line. Getting ready to kick this one off for the Badgers is number 17, Joe Lyman. Back deep for the Thundercats, I believe, is number 4, Isaiah Bendolph. And it doesn't matter. This is going to be a low rolling kick, bounced up in the air, and it's taken by Amory Beckford. Beckford cuts up the middle and finally runs into a man around midfield and is taken down. That tackle made by the Golden Badgers number 4, Ralph Duperville. And so now the Thundercats will take over 1st and 10 at midfield exactly. First and 10 for the Thundercats. They struggled moving the ball in the first half, but we'll see what they have in store here. They're coming out in shotgun to start this possession. So a very different look and a different quarterback this time. Snap is low, but a handoff to number 27, Percy Gladding, as they've got a new quarterback, but a familiar one, number 7, Rain Francis from Brooklyn, New York. Coming in, of course, Francis had 4 touchdown passes the last time he played a game here at Daly Field 2 years ago against the Badgers. Thundercats won that game 32-8, so we'll see what kind of a spark Francis might bring to the offense. Got a question in the live chat from Jay. What division is this? This is Single A in the East Coast Football League, semi-pro football, as Percy Gladding sheds a few tackles and goes up the far sideline for a big gain there, and that's going to be good enough for a Thundercats first down. It's going to bring him down to the 39. So, or no, the 38 actually. 1st and 10 from the Badgers 38. As I do believe this is the Thundercats offense first trip into Badgers territory today. Francis in shotgun, they send a man in motion, fake a handoff. Francis trying to keep it himself, bobbing and weaving, scrambling like mad, trying to find an opening, dragged down from behind by Cuba Morales. Cuba Morales, who also had a fumble recovery in the first half, comes through for the sack that time. 5-yard loss on the play. Back to the 43. It'll be 2nd and 15. Yeah, 2nd and 15. Oh, well, 3rd and 15? I don't think that's correct, is it? Did I miss a play? Either way, trips to the left, one receiver to the right. Francis takes the snap. He's looking to throw this time. Pass rush in his face. He fires up in the air. Caught! Marquise Hughes with the interception. He's trying to get to the sideline, and he's forced out of bounds. Oh, we've got a flag on the play. Oh, this is going to be huge here, depending on what the call is. It was thrown in the secondary. Okay, it was on the return. It was a block in the back penalty against the Badgers after the interception. So they're not going to get as good field position, but they are going to get the ball. Marquise Hughes with the pick, and it looks like, just like the Thundercats, the Badgers are going to come out with a different quarterback this time. Number 6, Evan Robidoux, coming out with the offense. And to all fans watching, one small note: if you notice me butchering the pronunciation of any players' names, then I encourage you to correct me in the live chat. It's going to be 1st and 10 for the Badgers from their own 19-yard line, following the penalty on the interception return. Robidoux in shotgun. Appears to be Kirk Prescott in the backfield with him. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Snap. Handoff. Prescott bursting up the middle. He's got a hole. Prescott taking off, and I do believe he's got the first down. Gain of 12 on the play is going to make it 1st and 10 from the Badgers' 31-yard line. Fresh set of downs. 1st and 10 at the 31. Looks like they're going empty backfield as they send Jonathan Joseph out to the right side. So 3 receivers to the right and 2 to the left of Robidoux. Snap. Robidoux looking to throw. Launches a deep pass and just through the hands of Jonathan Joseph. Looks like Rain Francis was in coverage, but it was just out of reach of both of them. And so it'll be 2nd and 10. This time back to two receivers either side. Robidoux in the backfield with Joseph. Snap, looking to throw, fires over the middle, and it misses everybody. Another incomplete. It'll be 3rd and 10 for the Badgers from their own 31. It's 3rd and 10, and they are deep inside their own territory, so they're not in 4-down territory right now. Two receivers either side. Robidoux and Joseph in the backfield. Snap. Robidoux looking to throw. Floats a pass, and it is intercepted. Disastrous attempt on the dump-off pass. It is intercepted by number 56, Matthew Hall. The D lineman from Ansonia didn't over-pursue, saw the quarterback going for a dump-off throw and used his size to get his fingertips on the ball and then get a grip on it to get the ball back for his team. So the two teams trade interceptions back and forth after sending out new quarterbacks to start the second half. And now the Thundercats take over deep in enemy territory inside the Badgers' red zone. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 18, it appears. They send Lopez in motion. Give to Lopez on the... No! Lost the ball! It's a fumble! And it's juggled! And the Badgers fall on it! Almost picked up by Morales, but instead it gets picked up by number 55, Anthony Savicki. And Keith Campbell Jr. putting on the moves in celebration. It looked like they were trying to figure out whether they were going for a proper handoff or a fake. And before they could decide, someone came in, hit the running back, and knocked the ball loose. So the ball goes right back to the Badgers. So the Badgers right back at their own 31-yard line, exactly where they were when they gave up their turnover. Looks like they're sending Robidoux back out there as the quarterback. That fumble recovered by the Badgers, number 55, Anthony Savicki of North Brookfield. And now the Badgers take over 1st and 10 from the 31. Robidoux takes the snap, looking to throw once again, fires through the hands of Dasani Houston. Incomplete. Robidoux now 0 for 4 on his first 4 passes of the day, with one of those 4 going for an interception. Badgers struggling to find the connection in the passing game so far. Snap, hand off. Prescott shakes off one tackle and bursts forward. Kirk Prescott drags another man down to about the 40. And it looks like they're going to mark him 1 yard short of the first. A 9-yard run for Prescott gives the Badgers a 3rd and 1 situation from their own 40. This time he's got Joseph behind Robidoux. Snap, Robidoux looking to throw on 3rd and short. He's taking off, scrambling, trying to get to the edge. Forced out of bounds, but he gains the 1st down. Gain of about 2 yards on the play there. And so the Badgers get a fresh set of downs. First and 10 from the 40. Oh, actually the 43. I thought it was the 42, but it's the 43, so it was a gain of 3 on the play by Robidoux for the 1st down. Now he takes the snap, stepping back, throwing over the middle. He's got a man. That's Ralph Duperville. Duperville holding onto the ball, shaking off tacklers, still dragging him forward. Ralph Duperville down inside the Thundercats' 30-yard line. Or exactly at the Thundercats' 30. A big gain of 27 yards on the reception by Ralph Duperville. And the Badgers are back in Thundercats territory. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 30. So Robidoux's first completion goes for 27 yards that time to Duperville. Snap, looking to throw. He's got a scramble, pass rush in his face, floats one up desperately to nobody. Flag is thrown. That might be grounding. Question was he out of the pocket? The pass did go past the line of scrimmage, but there wasn't anyone in vicinity. They are going to call intentional grounding, and so that'll be a loss of downs and a loss of a significant amount of yards for the Badgers. A big setback as they are all the way back at the 43. So a loss of 13 off the penalty. Will make it 2nd and 23. They're going empty backfield this time. Looks like they've moved Prescott to be the left tight end, along with 2 wideouts on either side. Robidoux takes the snap, looking to throw, steps up in the pocket, evades one man, running to his right, finds a pass, gets it to Houston for a short gain. Looks like they're going to give him about 3 yards on that one. It's going to be 3rd and 20. Third and 20 from the 40. Badgers are in opposing territory, so reasonable to suspect they would go for it on 4th down. But they have got to start getting some positive yards here on 3rd and 20. Snap to Robidoux, looking to throw. Unloads one down the right side. Duperville. Did he catch that? Yes, he did. Ralph Duperville falling back, catching it around his ankles. Manages to haul that one in for a big 1st down conversion for the Badgers. His 2nd catch today, both on this drive, and it looks like that's going to be the end of the 3rd quarter. We move to the 4th and final quarter. The Badgers 1 quarter away from securing their 1st win of the year, but still holding on to a narrow 6-0 lead. That big catch to end the 3rd quarter by Ralph Duperville, setting the Badgers up in good field position here to try and extend their lead. Of course, the last time they got this deep inside enemy territory, they fumbled it on an attempted handoff at the 1-yard line. Situation here looks like it's going to be 1st and goal from the 7. And the live chat, we've got Mitch saying, "We ballin' today." I assume talking about the Badgers. The Badgers' offense certainly today has been moving a lot better than we've seen in previous games. But again, they've got to finish the job. They've turned the ball over twice inside the red zone today. They're trying to secure their 2nd score. 1st and goal from the Thundercats' 7-yard line. They're waiting for the Thundercats to get all of their players out on defense. So now 1st and goal from the 7. Robidoux and Prescott in the backfield, 2 receivers either side. Snap is high, but he gets the handoff to Prescott. Prescott bursting up the middle and dragged down inside the 5. Looks like a gain of about 4 on the play, so it'll be 2nd and goal from the 3. A touchdown here could be huge for the Badgers, put them up 2 scores here in the final quarter. Can they get the last 3 yards needed? Snap, handoff, Prescott, stuffed, lost the football, but the play is blown dead. I think they called it dead on forward progress. I think. So it's going to be 3rd and down. Loss of 1 on the play. 3rd and goal from the 4. So the Badgers have 2 chances left to try and get this one in the end zone. They're going empty backfield. They've moved Prescott to the slot back position. Snap, Robidoux, pass rush in his face, scrambling, throwing, intercepted! Taken back by the Thundercats, and they're running it back down the sideline. The Thundercats trying to reverse fortunes here. It's a race, and he's into the end zone. Waiting on the signal from the officials here. I assume that is a touchdown on the interception by Isaiah Bendolph. Or are they saying he stepped out of bounds? If he's got this interception, it's a 100-yard pick 6. I assume that was a touchdown. The pass rush flushed Robidoux out of the pocket. He scrambled. He tried to float one up to the back of the end zone to Duperville, but did not get enough arm strength under that one, and it was picked off by Isaiah Bendolph. Credit to Marquise Hughes for trying to chase Bendolph down the sideline, but kind of like Larry Fitzgerald chasing down James Harrison, you know, just couldn't get there in time. But now a very big situation here. The Thundercats with a chance to take the lead on the PAT. They're going to try and kick this one through to go up by 1. Percy Gladding lining up for the kick. The kick is up, and it's through. The Thundercats take the 7-6 lead over the Badgers. What an insane reversal of fortune. The Badgers knocking on the door of a multi-score lead. Give up a 100-yard pick 6. And just like that, now the Thundercats trying to hold on to a 1-point lead to secure their first win of the year. And that's the kind of play that can absolutely suck the air out of a team. The Badgers, if they want to get back in this one, they've got to regroup and get the offense back moving. Again, we don't know how much time is left here in the fourth quarter, with no scoreboard clock or anything like that. Best we can do is estimate. In the meantime, Percy Gladding, who just came through with that big PAT kick to make it a 1-point game, now setting up for the kickoff. A delay of game now called against the Thundercats, as they didn't get a chance, as they didn't, get the kickoff fast enough. So they are going to have to move back. So they're going to be kicking off from the 30 instead of the 35. That's a little bit of help for the Badgers. So now Gladding sets up. Badgers have 3 players back deep: Hughes, Joseph, and Houston. Kick is high and short and going to go out of bounds. I mean, it went out of bounds past the 40, so I imagine the Badgers are just going to take it where it landed. Unless they're allowed to, get him to force him to kick it again, which I don't think they are at this level. And indeed, it will be 1st and 10 for the Badgers. Pretty good field position to work with. They're going to mark him at... They're going to mark him at midfield. Okay, so maybe the penalty did take a certain effect because it went out of bounds inside the past the 40. So 1st and 10 for the Badgers from midfield. And now trailing by 1 point, they have to score. The pick 6 from Isaiah Bendolf, changing everything about the fabric of this game. And they've got to make something happen here. Looks like they've got number 3, Marquise Hughes, back out as the quarterback. Going to come out with 2 receivers on either side. Prescott in the backfield with him. Snap is high, but he collects it. Looking to throw. Launches a deep shot. Battle for the ball. Caught! Joe Lyman with a huge catch there, and he's dragging his tacklers close to the 20. Looks like they're going to mark him down at the 22. A huge 28-yard reception by Joe Lyman. The Badgers not done yet. It'll be 1st and 10 from the Thundercats' 22-yard line. Again, the Badgers have had a lot of trouble deep inside enemy territory. They've turned it over 3 times inside the Thundercats' red zone, once on a turnover on downs, once on a fumble, and once on a pick 6. Can they find the magic here and take back the lead? Hughes takes the snap, gives to Prescott. Prescott shakes off a tackle somewhat and burrows forward for a short gain there. From the 22 up to what appears to be the 19 or 18. It looks to be the 19, so a 3-yard gain that time. 2nd and 7 from the 19. Again, not sure how much time is left here in the 4th. I don't think the Badgers have used any timeouts yet here in the second half. Hughes back in shotgun with Prescott on his right, 2 receivers either side. Snap. Fakes the handoff to Prescott. Hughes takes off running. Marquise Hughes has some space. Down the sideline, spins. He's fighting forward, but he does get dragged down by Beckford. That is going to be good for a Badgers first down. Good instincts by Marquise Hughes. I'm not sure if that was a designed fake or if he improvised that. But this is going to be 1st and goal for the Badgers. Off what appears to be a 13-yard run by Marquise Hughes. Down to the Thundercats' 6-yard line. This is the Badgers. They've scored once, and they've turned it over twice. What will happen this time? Game on the line. 1st and goal from the 6. Hughes takes the snap, gives to Prescott. Prescott, nowhere to go, lost the ball! I don't believe it. They turned it over again. No flag on the play. I thought one of the Thundercats players might have jumped, but no such call. And the Badgers, again, another turnover inside the opposing 10. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Thundercats from the 19. And the Badgers, if they want another chance, they have to get this ball back and fast. Francis in shotgun, Gladding on his left. Takes the snap, fakes the handoff, scrambling, running, chased down and sacked. Cuba Morales and Marquise Allen with the sack on 1st down. That's going to push him back about 5 yards. Second and 15 from the 14. And the Thundercats certainly going to be trying to run out the clock here. Which, again, just puts you on pins and needles as a fan because you don't know how much time is left. A timeout was just called by the... Shotgun formation. Francis and Gladding in the backfield, 2 receivers either side. Snap, handoff, Gladding going up the middle, nowhere to go. Might have gotten a gain of 1. Looks like he did get a gain of 1. It'll be 3rd and 14 from the 15. So a big 3rd down here. The Badgers trying to get the ball back. The Thundercats trying to run out the clock as the Badgers now call timeout. This game coming down to the wire. Both teams trying to secure their first win of the year. The Badgers, despite 5 trips to the opposing red zone and 4 trips inside the opponent's 10-yard line, currently trailing 7-6. Third and 14. Francis takes the snap, looking to throw, unloads a deep shot. Intercept, no, just broken up. Almost picked off again by Marquise Hughes. Instead, simply a pass breakup. Of the pass that was, I believe, intended for number 41, Bobby Hudak. And so it's going to be 4th and 14. The Thundercats, deep in their own territory, are going to be forced to punt. The Badgers hoping they can get something big on this return, maybe set themselves up in good field position, or who knows, maybe even score. Out to punt is Joseph Leclerc Jr. Back deep for the Badgers is Jonathan Joseph. 2 short returners, Marquise Hughes and Shane Bushy. Oh, we've got an injured Thundercat on the opposite sideline, so the trainer had to run across. And now setting up to punt. Snap. Leclerc gets it away. Takes a bounce out of bounds at the Badgers' 46. The Badgers need to go 54 yards to get the go-ahead touchdown. Again, we're not sure how much time is left, but the Badgers need a clutch drive here. Looks like they're sticking with Hughes at quarterback. Looks like they're going to set 3 receivers to the right and 1 to the left, with Joseph sharing the backfield with Hughes. Snap. Hughes, hands off. Joseph trying to bounce around, but nowhere to go. And it's going to be a loss of 1 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 11. Badgers have got to get things moving, as they just signaled for the 2-minute warning here in the 4th quarter. The Badgers have 2 minutes to try and score and take back the lead. A little bit of confusion on the Badgers side, figuring out the play. Got to make sure they don't get a delay of game penalty. They already got set back 1 yard on the rushing attempt on 1st down. Again, 3 to the right, 1 to the left. Snap, Hughes looking to throw. He's got some time. All the time in the world. Unloads a deep shot as he's hit. It's a fight for the ball! Just barely not caught. Duperville and Houston were both in the vicinity as it was nearly picked off, but then nearly caught, and now it's going to be 3rd and 11 as no one came away with that football. Third and 11 from their own 45-yard line. Once again, 3 to the right, 1 to the left. Snap, Hughes evades the pass rush, taking off, running, just going to take off and run. Avoids a tackler and falls forward and gains the 1st down. And the Badgers call timeout. It'll be 1st and 10 from the Thundercats' 39-yard line. No, the Thundercats' 40-yard line. Off of the 15-yard run by Marquise Hughes. The Badgers still need 40 yards. From the sound of it, I think they've got 1 timeout left after that one. Badgers trying to orchestrate a game-winning drive. They got trips to the left and 1 to the right. Hughes and Prescott in the backfield. Snap, Hughes looking, firing over the middle. He's got Lyman caught, and he falls. He wasn't touched. He wasn't touched. He wasn't touched. But the whistle blew. The Badgers kept playing because Lyman wasn't touched, but the Thundercats stopped because a whistle was blown. So it is going to be called dead. The whistle overrules everything. And so the Badgers now have to get moving. The catch is made by Lyman. They're going to rule him down at the Thundercats' 21-yard line. Snap. Hughes looking, throws it out to Duperville. Duperville wrapped up and brought down inbounds. The Badgers have to move. But they call a timeout. That's going to be their final one. A 5-yard gain on the catch by Duperville. It'll be 2nd and 5 from the 16. But that 16 a lot more important than the 5. The Badgers have to get to the end zone. I mean, if the Badgers had a kicker on their roster, then maybe I could say try and get inside field goal range for that kicker, but I don't think the Badgers have a place kicker. I mean, certainly they got guys that do kickoffs because you have to do that, but I haven't seen them attempt a field goal once this year. Javon Furtado saying he wasn't down by contact, and I from where I'm standing, you're right, he wasn't. However, the whistle overrules everything. That's the problem. A prematurely blown whistle does result, in most cases, in the play being dead. 2 receivers on either side of Hughes out of the timeout. 2nd and 5 from the 16. Hughes takes the snap, looking, scrambling to his left. Now he's got to scramble back around. He's got to find somebody. Keeps scrambling. He gets wrapped up and brought down by Taylor. And the Badgers have to run back to the line now, as they are going to run out of time. They're at the 33 now. It is 3rd and 22. The Badgers going to try and get one last. What happened? A whistle was blown. I'm not sure if that's the. Doesn't appear to be the whistle to. They called an offsides. They called an offsides on the Thundercats. The clock is going to keep running. They've got to rush out there. The Badgers looking all confused, trying to set up for 3rd and 17. They get folks aligned. Snap. Hughes looking, firing. Intercepted. Percy Gladding makes the interception, and that is going to be the ball game. Percy Gladding, who got the go-ahead PAT kick, intercepts it just outside the end zone. And if that's not the end of the game, they're just going to down it, but I'm pretty sure that's just it. And they are going to line up. That is going to be your ball game. The final score, the Connecticut Thundercats 7, the MetroWest Golden Badgers 6. A frustrating end result for the Badgers. They won the yardage battle, they won the possession battle, but they lost the most important battle, the one on the scoreboard. The Badgers found the end zone on their second possession on an 8-yard touchdown run by Jonathan Joseph. But despite 5 more trips inside the red zone and 3 more trips inside the 10-yard line, Badgers could not find the end zone again. And it was a 100-yard pick six by Isaiah Bendolph, followed by a go-ahead PAT kick from Percy Gladding that made the difference for the Thundercats. Well, that's going to do it for this game. And for me, that's going to do it for this summer season. The season is not over for the Badgers. They have one road game left next weekend at the New England Black Panthers. But this being their last home game of the season, this will be my final stream of this summer 2023 season of Golden Badgers football. I want to say thank you to the Golden Badgers organization once again for giving me the opportunity to cover these games. I have a lot of fun doing it, and I hope you guys appreciate getting to watch. You know, obviously not the way they wanted things to end here, but a hard-fought game regardless. And again, I thank you for the ride. If you enjoyed this live stream, be sure to hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on all things Golden Badgers football. Thank you to all those who brought the good vibes in the live chat. If there's anything you'd like to say after the stream is concluded, you can say it in the comment section down below. But for this live stream, that is going to do it. The Connecticut Thundercats 7, the MetroWest Golden Badgers 6. From Daly Field in Boston, Massachusetts, I am Jesse Mayfield Sheehan. Thank you all for watching, and have a good night.